Hey everybody, Patrick here from Blue Steel Tarot. You probably know me from my weekly readings, and I've been talking a lot about the law of attraction. And what I thought I would do today, though, is I wanted to share some of my favorite law of attraction related books with you. I've got 3 different books. They're really amazing. My life has changed so much as I read these books. And I'm not really a big reader, so this is this is kind of like a great exercise for me. And I can't remember how I got into these particular books, but the first one that I started with, I don't know if anybody's heard of Abraham Hicks. It's a character devised by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and they wrote this book called Ask and It Is Given. This is a great book, and basically, the premise of the book, in summary, is we get what we think about. So where our thoughts go, energy flows. And I think one of the things that Esther primarily talks about in the book through Abraham is basically that thoughts and everything is energy. Everything is energy. So our thoughts, our vibration is a source of energy, and we attract. Like attracts like, so we attract back kind of the energy that we put out. And so she talks a lot about this emotional scale. The emotional scale has a different vibration and energy level on it. So this book has been particularly great because it talks a lot about that. First of all, it talks about thoughts becoming things. You get what you think about. Your beliefs and your thoughts equal your vibration. And if you're thinking very positive thoughts, you're feeling joy, you're feeling positive emotion, those are high vibration thoughts. If you're feeling anger, frustration, guilt, fear, all of those kind of negative emotions, those are much lower vibrations. So high vibration attracts more high vibration things. So things that bring joy and excitement that if you feel joy and excitement, you will attract more joy and excitement toward you. Conversely, if you're feeling more negativity, you will attract much more negativity into your life by way of fear, lack of whatever you desire, right? So sometimes you fear like a fear of running out of money, for example. You might find you incur more expenses, that money becomes tighter. And these all relate back to your beliefs and what goes on in your mind, your thoughts. And we're often not consciously aware of our thoughts. And in this particular book, she also gives us 22 tips, 22 practices to improve our vibration. So if you're feeling, if you're coming from a place of fear or anxiety, she gives a lot of great tips on practical exercises to go through that can make you feel better. Esther and everyone that I've encountered with the law of attraction is a huge proponent of meditation, for one thing. I won't spoil it, but I think this is a great book. You'll feel very excited reading it. I felt very empowered. I felt very excited, and I put all of these to practical use. I mean, if you look at this book, you can see I have bookmarks, I have dog ear pages, I have hot yellow highlights, I have all sorts of things here. And I come back to this regularly, so I kind of use this as like a reference guide. So when they talk about the processes, she's got a number of them, and I think one of the best ones is called a rampage of appreciation. This is when you just kind of go off on this rampage to yourself, verbally, highlighting things that you like that really make you feel really good. Like, what do you appreciate? And it can be simple things such as things are always working out for me. Highlighting what's gone well, highlighting the fact that, hey, I've been able to overcome illness. I just got over a cold. I'm feeling better. I had a wonderful night out with friends. The little things, when you appreciate and you express gratitude, you're telling the universe more of this, please. And that's one of the things that Esther talks about in this book. So highly recommend this. I think this is the great starting point. This breaks it down very simply, and it's very digestible. So I would say get this book first. One of the other books I picked up after that was this one here. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I heard a lot of great things about it. It's by Dr. Joseph Murphy, not Murray. And, you can tell by looking at this, this is not a new book. I got this used on Amazon, sent from some bookstore in the Midwest, United States. And But similarly, like you probably can see here, I've got a lot of pages bookmarked and dog-eared. What this really talks about, he really talks about the power of our subconscious mind. And I think one of the ways we can think about our subconscious mind is if you think about your conscious mind, what you're aware of. So as you kind of explore and you observe, let's say, your 3D reality, you observe what's going on around you, whether it be the people, the places, the things, the news, the media, whatever it is, your subconscious, your conscious mind is taking that in. And you have emotions that, again, tie back to vibration, depending upon what the emotion is, whether it's joy, fear, excitement, anticipation, whatever it might be. But they also kind of talk about the powers of the subconscious mind. So when your conscious mind has a thought and you continue to think this particular thought, your subconscious mind takes it and takes it as a fact and creates filters. And that's what Dr. Joseph Murphy talks about in this book, is how your subconscious mind will do that. And when the subconscious mind takes something as a fact, it doesn't rationalize. And that's one of the things I think he talks about a lot, is your subconscious mind doesn't rationalize. It takes what your conscious mind continues to think about and repeat as fact. So it's kind of like thinking about your minds as almost like the conscious mind is the gardener. He is the one, he's above ground, he's sowing the seeds. He is sowing the seeds into the ground. The subconscious mind is absorbing everything into it. It's absorbing the water, it's absorbing, and it's got those seeds. And those seeds, with some love and care and just continued attention, those seeds will germinate. And that's a great way, I think, to think about it. So what Dr. Joseph Murphy talks a lot about is imagination too. And imagination, the power of imagination, is when you start to imagine things and you start to feel the emotion tie with the imagination, kind of coming back to like the ask that it is given with the vibrational scale. When you start thinking about, thinking about things and you start feeling the emotion, whether it's a particular job that you desire, you might not have it, but you desire it. It could be a relationship. It could be whatever it is, a trip. It could be a vacation. I have had detailed imagination, use my imagination in grave detail for things such as trips, vacations, just even like social events. And those usually do kind of come to pass. Because I'll feel the emotion. I'll feel so excited about it. And when you start feeling excited about something that isn't even happening, your body and brain doesn't really know the difference between it's actually happening versus you're imagining it. So I know that this is kind of a lot to take in. I'm really just kind of giving you a brief summary of kind of like what these books talk about. So this book talks a lot about that, is the power of the subconscious mind, and it gives there's a lot of stories in here about like success stories about someone who, used their imagination to improve their health, or to provide, use their imagination and really visualize the particular relationship, the particular business success that they so desire. And they saw it and they thought about what it felt like when they had it, and they actually visualized and felt it. And a lot of these things talk about coming to pass. This book is not new. This book, it was published many years ago. I want to say like in the 1963. So it's 1963. Esther's book is much more recent. Esther is still very much with us and does a lot of tours across the United States. They're very popular. Has a great YouTube channel, a lot of great meditations. Fabulous. I would say listen to Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, anything you get your hands on with respect to that. This book will break it down more into the subconscious and the conscious mind. So I think this is the book you should read second, okay? And then lastly is this amazing book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. I will start off by saying this book is a lot. It's a heavy book. It's very intense, it's very deep, and it's very real. What Dr. Joe Dispenza does is he takes it a step further. So now he's talking about not even thinking about your conscious, subconscious mind, but what he really gets at is what we all have. We have thoughts you've continued to think, ideas or things you've been told, primarily as a child, oftentimes by your parents, that indicate that they're beliefs that you form over time. And sometimes they're beliefs that you kind of inherit or take on from your parents. Like, we can't afford this. We don't have, money doesn't grow on trees. A lot of these things, you start formulating beliefs and things around that, often related to lack. And so lack of money is a great example, right? If you keep hearing money doesn't grow on trees, you're going to start to assume like, okay, we need to save it because it's scarce. It's a scarce resource. There isn't enough of it to go around. And if somebody over here has $2 million, it's $2 million less than I can have. And that's just really none of that is true. But what Joe talks about is kind of unpacking the subconscious beliefs that we have that no longer serve us, and getting under the covers through meditation and related practices to explore like what do I believe about certain things? What do I believe about relationships? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about success and abundance? What do I believe about these things? And as you start to peel that onion back, you realize some of these unlimiting beliefs. So he kind of taps into some of the same concepts that Esther does regarding, energy is vibration, and energy and vibration also tie back to emotions. So he'll kind of unpack that. What's an emotion you don't want to feel anymore? So you might want to escape fear. It's like, well, how do I feel when I have fear? What is the source of that fear? How rational is this? So he really kind of starts to unpack and a lot of times these things do kind of come back to relationships and thoughts about success and career development, that kind of thing. And oftentimes your desire has to align with your belief. And oftentimes we have a desire and the belief does not line up. I desire to have millions of dollars, be a successful, chief operating officer or whatever the case might be. The belief is though, well, nobody in my family has had that kind of success. I don't have that. I don't have that education. I don't have the experience. I don't have this. I don't have that. That is not my destiny. It's just wishful thinking. Those are beliefs and desires that are not in alignment, and that's not allowing it to come into play. So he really is a lot more practical examples too on the success stories of visualization and imagination. One thing that I have taken away from all of these examples, all of these books, is that the imagination is an amazing thing. And everything you see around you today, everything started off as an idea in somebody's mind. Everything started off, we imagined what something would be like, look like, feel like, and what the experience might be like. So he really unpacks that more. I will say you really, the best success that you can have, I think, with using this breaking the habit of being yourself is also doing the meditations. The meditations do start off slowly, and they're shorter. I should not say slowly, they start off shorter, and they become longer and longer over time. The purpose is really to kind of get you into the mode of meditating first, quieting your mind, stop thinking about, things going on around you, stop letting the outer world impact you, and just focus on your breath. And he starts there and it kind of unpacks it further and thinking about the beliefs and the thoughts and the emotions you want to leave behind. And then in place of those emotions, you reprogram your mind. And he kind of guides you through this. It's a multi-week process. And but it is actually amazing. And I heard about this book when I was reading about, I was reading an article about Kat Norton, who became Miss Excel. And I was just fascinated by her success. And I just love her energy. She's got such a positive energy. If you haven't seen her, go on YouTube, go on anywhere. Go on to LinkedIn. She's all over. And all she does is she creates small, very brief videos on TikTok, everywhere. And she illustrates key tips to utilize formulas and functions within Excel. Excel is not new. Excel has been around for over 20 years. But it's just her positive energy. And so when I read about her, and she's had tremendous success, she's got her own business now, and she's multimillionaire. And this all happened within a very short amount of time. And it kind of went to scale very quickly. She read Dr. Joe's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. She read that book. She quieted her mind. She got this idea. She got this spur of inspiration to post a video showing on TikTok, showing her giving tips on an Excel with her dancing in the video. It's not the dancing I think that people love. I think it's the energy. So people respond to energy. But she highlighted in one of the articles, I think it was in Entrepreneur Magazine, she highlighted the fact that this was a book that she picked up just as the pandemic was breaking out and we were all stuck at home. This was a book that she picked up and she started reading. and it kind of changed her life. So that's why I picked it up, and it's a fabulous book. Like I said, it's kind of heavy, but there's a lot of detail in it, and that's why I think, like, if you start with Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, you will get a solid foundation of Thoughts Become Things, the power of our thoughts and emotion in the point of attraction, and what it actually comes into our experience. As Esther says in so many of her videos and throughout her book, she indicates that, how do you know what your point of attraction is? Where are you in the emotional scale? There's two ways you can tell. One, by the way that you feel, and two, by what's showing up. If good things are showing up, unexpected money, friends, abundance, all these positive things are coming into your life, your vibration is, you're a high vibe, you're vibrating quite high, and things are going very well. If they're not, you're probably feeling more some of the emotions on the lower scale, and it's easy to kind of go down that boondoggle. What all three of these books will really do is they will help you be more aware of your thoughts. And it'll help you to identify when you're starting to go down this almost like rabbit hole of negativity, and you're just feeling down, or you're thinking thoughts that just don't make you feel good, and you're able to shift gears fast. That's one of the great things I find about it. It's not that I don't have negative thoughts from time to time. Yeah, sometimes I do. But I have a lot fewer negative thoughts. And when I start to feel those negative thoughts, I'm very aware, and I take that step back and think about, okay, what is going on here? Is this as bad as it seems? And I think when you see the news, it's easy to go down like a negative boondoggle. You're down this rabbit hole of negativity. And, it's 2023 now. So I think we heard at the tail end of 2022 about, the coming market crashes, how we're going to have a recession, and there's going to be job losses, and there's going to be all this. It's really easy to kind of let those things just kind of pile on. And next thing you know, you're kind of nervous. You're anticipating that's going to happen. You're worried about money. You're hoarding things. You're not spending things. You're not enjoying life. You're feeling guilty about going out. It's easy to kind of go down that road. But then if you ask yourself, what if 2023, what if this turned out to be a much better year than anyone ever anticipated? Start to ask yourself those questions, the what if. What if 2023 were the best year of my life? What if everything goes better than anyone had ever expected? If you can kind of go into anything with that thought, it allows your imagination, asking what if does is it allows your imagination to run. And all of a sudden your imagination's like, what could that look like? If you're going out on a date with somebody, ask yourself, what if this were the best date ever? What if this person we just click and we just feel a great sort of chemistry, but connection, okay? Then you can kind of start to think about that instead of being like, all right, well, this is probably somebody I'm not remotely interested in. There's no attraction. This is probably somebody who's been catfishing or whatever the case might be. But if you think about it from like the what if point of view, it just can have an amazing thought on that, and kind of an amazing spin, and kind of get your imagination running in the right place. So what I want to do is I kind of continue to do my weekly tarot reading. So what I want to incorporate more of, and I've already started if you're watching, is bringing in law of attraction into some of the tarot readings. So when I try to do those on a weekly basis, I have been seeing more and feeling more tie-ins and alignment with the law of attraction. So I want to share these books with you so you can kind of explore this on your own. Next up, I'm going to share a number of my favorite tarot books. So if you're looking to get an understanding of tarot, which has definitely been around for, hundreds of years, maybe 1,000 years, I don't even remember how many years. But there's so many great ways to explore the tarot deck and what it means, and to use your intuition and kind of get some thoughts and guidance on like what's coming. And it's kind of like that roadmap. Paired with the law of attraction, I find them both to be fascinating, and I find them very interesting together. So I want to do more of that. Hopefully, you'll enjoy that, and we can kind of take it that way together. Look for another one of these videos with my favorite tarot books, and by all means, subscribe to the channel so you're aware of any new postings. Drop comments down below. Let me know what you think about this, and I'd be happy to do more of these if there's a particular interest in that. And I will be back again very soon. Thanks.